Are you guys ready for more bird art? Oh, you're not? Well, that's too bad, because that's what we're drawing today. Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Draw with T or Draw with Tay, and we're back to the slightly funky camera angle. Hey, let me know in the comments if you found this angle to be, like, really off-putting. We probably aren't gonna have it for very many episodes. Unfortunately, I believe the next handful of episodes, I think up to 12, are shot with this angle. But after that, I got my new camera and my camera arm, and now I'll be able to go back to shooting with the usual orientation that people like, but, you know, gotta work with what you have when you have it. I decided that I was going to just shoot videos with what I had and not wait to buy and research and buy equipment, you know, because I didn't want to spend a couple $100 on some equipment and then, you know, not actually like shooting videos. And also, it's just kind of the principle of the matter. I'm such a perfectionist that part of this whole thing is just me getting over my perfectionism and just producing, because you can have a million great ideas, but if you don't execute them, well, you know, it doesn't really matter. I'm kind of trying to throw a whole bunch of stuff at the wall, and, you know, a little bit of a sacrifice in quality for quantity, because I've also kind of discovered that what I think is garbage, people go gaga for sometimes, and vice versa. I'll put all this time into this beautiful thing, and people will be like, meh, and then I'll, like, sneeze a drawing onto a napkin, and suddenly I'm just getting flooded with attention on my social media. As you can see, we are drawing birds. So following episode 7, this is kind of the next step. So after I discovered ospreys, oh man, I was just so happy to discover ospreys. I decided to basically draw a whole page of them. Just kind of, you know, I don't know. Honestly, I just kind of wanted to have fun, especially after drawing all those frustrating deltoids. I just kind of wanted to draw something that I sort of knew at this point. And I was also kind of happy to think that I was sitting down and being like, hey, I just want to draw some bird heads, because that feels comfortable. Because that's that's a very good sign, especially when you have a character whose head is a bird. And previous to doing these drawings, I would avoid drawing bird heads because I didn't really understand what was going on. The beaks threw me off, the proportions threw me off. I was just sort of guessing based on general anatomy knowledge that I had, but now that I had kind of found a single bird type that was appropriate for the character, and I'd done some other drawings, I just having fun, and I wanted to have some more fun. So this is kind of candy art. It's, you know, for myself, but it was also study, because I was, again, kind of trying to draw them realistic, although I was also kind of trying to exaggerate what I saw there. So if I saw an extreme look, I tried to make it look really extreme, and if they looked surprised, I'd make them surprised. If they looked angry, I'd try to make them look angrier. I was less focused with, like, exact shading and, you know, the effect and texture of the pencil. If I felt an area was dark, I'd just scribble it in, you know. I was more about contour shape, and I was more about internalizing how I'm gonna draw ospreys, because when you have to draw a character thousands of times over, you want to make sure that it's in you like a language, like, you know, how you draw a capital A versus a lowercase a, and just being able to do that, just bam, instantly. Yeah. So I was just, again, on Pinterest, just having fun, grabbing random osprey pictures and drawing them and slightly exaggerating them. And as I was drawing them, I kept thinking, okay, this is like the real world version of Storm Screech. So I was looking for images that kind of played to that, you know, badass character type, but also with a little bit of, like, surprise thrown in, because, you know, even badass characters get surprised, and they stumble, they do dorky stuff. Couldn't find any birds crying, but, you know, I think that's to be expected when you're dealing with real life material. So yeah, I was just having some fun doing some studies and stuff, and it's kind of ironic that I chose to start this series when I did, because you guys are getting a lot of study content out of me, whereas usually I'm drawing lots and lots of cartoons. I basically am going through this phase where I am doing more studies just to understand these things I've been putting off, these characters and things I put in a story that I'm like, well, crap, now I need to draw a griffin, or crap, I guess I've got to learn how to draw castle architecture, and crap, I guess I'll have to learn how to paint and do backgrounds. But a lot of people say don't take on a big project, but I'm not going to listen to that. It's been a good journey, it's been fun, it's been getting me to do things I wouldn't normally do as an artist and a writer, so everybody's got a different cup of tea. Aha, relevancy to the topic. Yeah, so here I am, I think this is, open bird mouths are still kind of hard for me. Any beast's open maw is kind of hard for me. The proportions of it, the foreshortening of it, the, proportion of the lower jaw. Here I am referencing the other page. I really like that other page. I actually like both of these pages. Studies can look really good in a sketchbook, although I don't really sit down to draw things because it looks good in my sketchbook. My sketchbook is just a pad of nice paper in a form I like for a wad of ideas. It's not there to impress anybody. It's not there to really be viewed by anybody other than me. It's either just where, a pad of paper that I'm used to work on currently and then move on, or it's a place to study, maybe make some notes for future me. I do kind of move through sketchbooks so fast that the notes I put in, I only really think, or I only put the notes in that are relevant for the next handful of months, six months max. I'm a different breed of artist, I guess. I know a lot of people that fear working in a nice fancy sketchbook. I know artists that just can't fill a sketchbook. They might have 20 sketchbooks with 20% of the pages filled in each, but they have a hard time filling them. I don't have those problems. I will destroy a sketchbook even if I don't like it. In fact, I will draw in it aggressively to fill it up, to get it out of my way so I can move on to one I like. I am very particular about my sketchbooks these days. I do like a certain brand, but if I only really have one main sketchbook at a time, and I just fill it up, and I don't have a fear of a new page. I don't like working from a blank sketchbook. That first couple, like that first month with a new sketchbook is hard, because there's nothing in there. I can't flip through it and find, previous notes. It's not like, oh yeah, how did I draw that deltoid? Because that was great. Or, oh yeah, I think I have some good art of that character I was working on. No, I gotta start from scratch. Sometimes I'll refer to the old sketchbook, but after that, once there's some drawings in there, sketchbook kind of has a personality, and then I don't know. Then it's easier. My favorite sketchbooks are ones that are highly filled, but those are also, how I know that I'm not going to be with that sketchbook for long, which is kind of sad sometimes, but, you fill up enough, and, I don't know. I just kind of get through the whole sketchbook issues by just filling up sketchbooks really fast. And I know not everybody's like that, so to each their own, right? And here I started drawing a little bit more than just the bird. I think in a couple of the next drawings I start drawing a few talons. Maybe not. That might actually be the next episode. Oops. Let's see, what am I drawing here? Well, of course it's an osprey, but I believe this is... Oh yes, now I see what I'm drawing here. It's another open beak drawing. Yeah, I'm glad I was practicing more of those, because there was the temptation, of course, to just draw lots of closed beaks and stuff. But man, you know, I love Pinterest. I don't really post on it. I literally just sort of use it like Google. I'll just go on and I'll just type in whatever I want to find images of, and then from that I just draw what I see. I do have some like boards, I think they're called boards, of like dedicated to each character or whatever it is I was drawing, and I find it is a helpful tool. It's a very helpful tool. It's just a pity I couldn't at this time find a way of making my setup work while I was needing to see Pinterest, because, you know, if I was referring to a book or just drawing from my head, I could shoot it from the conventional angle where you saw my ugly gray Martha Stewart cutting mat and half of the wooden table. But, you know, having to use Pinterest, there's no way of me having the camera, you know, anywhere but where I've got it positioned here. But, yeah. Like I said earlier, just gotta work with what you got to work with. And here I am starting to really get into the shading of stuff. I do find that as I draw more, or I get into what I'm drawing, suddenly I'm starting to add details, like really getting into some shading, you know, how using my pencil to do some positional lines to kind of give a sense of direction and texture rather than just scribbling it in, adding emotions, yada yada yada. Man, I just had a lot of fun with this page. And it's good. I mean, you should have fun with your art. You always should have fun with your art. I think I'm much more of a sketchbook artist than perhaps a finished work artist. And it's not really intentional. It's just anytime I do finished work, I always start it in my sketchbook. So, you know, my sketchbook is always filling up because I'm either sketching or I'm doing finished work. So, you know, it all ends up in the sketchbook. So my sketchbooks maybe last me at max 6 months. Lately, they've been only lasting me 4 to 3 months. Yeah. Actually, would you guys be interested in videos, like flip-through videos of previous sketchbooks? I've got over 32 of them at this point. There's the main line, which, you know, this one's sketchbook 32, so there's 31 previous ones, but then there's, like, I got some mini sketchbooks, and there was, like, an era where I wasn't working in sketchbooks, so I just had loose leaf pages that I'd put in binders for a span of years. I don't quite remember. That was kind of a while ago. So yeah, let me know if you'd like me to do some sketchbook flip throughs. Maybe like what order, because like I've been drawing since I was 13, so you know some of the drawings are very, very bad. Or you know, would you like me to talk about my sketchbook quote unquote practice, like tips and tricks on how to sketchbook better or up your sketchbook game, or ways of defeating the anxiety some people get with sketchbooks? Maybe I'm not the best to talk about that stuff since I haven't really had it for ages. But you know, maybe the perspective of somebody who doesn't have it can help you break through it. I don't know. You guys let me know. I might end up doing some of those videos anyways, just to change it up. But you know, for now I'm literally just shooting videos anytime I'm sitting down to draw. That's basically how I do it. I kind of have a secret goal to just show you guys me filling up sketchbook 32 like in its near entirety. And that's basically all I really have to say. I mean, I was maybe stretching a little bit at some points there, but hope you guys enjoyed the episode. You know, like, comment, and subscribe. I hate having to say that, but you know, people sometimes legitimately forget to subscribe and stuff. And here's a zoom out of all the art I did, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. There are more birds to come, but there's also some other animals. Anyways, have a good one. Bye!